Guys, welcome to DIY Lifestyle. Today we are going to be doing reverse canvas. I have a couple of canvases here that were in the house. I just had them hanging up on walls. Today we are going to take them down and redo them. Reverse canvas is a very hot topic right now. I'm sure many of you know what it is. I've always wanted to do it, so we're going to give it a try today. This is the first canvas we are going to start with. It was in my front room in my entryway. So to start, we're going to flip it over and we are going to take a knife or scissors or whatever you have, and we are just going to cut along the outside of these staples. Okay, so now that we cut around the outside of the staples, you're going to start pulling the canvas out. Like so, around all the sides. Just keep going around the whole thing. Okay. So now once you kind of loosen it up all around the whole thing, if you want, you can pull this part off of the staples. Doesn't matter either way. Have the canvas all cut off of our frame. They're two separate. My frame is a little bit bigger, so I am actually going to have to remove this middle wooden piece. So I will go ahead and go do that. So what I did is I just cut a little chunk out of the middle so that when I do pull it out, it doesn't damage my actual frame. There are nails on each side and it is glued into there. So now that we have a piece missing here, we are just going to pull it right out. And two. Okay. So now we're going to take out these nails, and then if you wanted to take off your staples in the back, now would be your time to do that. And then we are also going to sand anything down that needs to be sanded down and get this thing ready for paint. Okay, so we got all the staples out on the back, and then there were a couple on the inside, which was odd. So now I'm just going to take my sandpaper, and there are a couple pieces here like where there was glue or the wood had chipped, and I'm just going to sand those down lightly really quickly. Okay, so we went through and we sanded out any rough edges or snags that might have been in the frame. We are going for the farmhouse look, so it does not have to be perfect by any means. You can leave your frame as is, if that's how you like it, or you can paint it or stain it. I am going to try staining it. I just picked this stain up the other day actually for these projects. I'm going to give it a little tester on my little piece, see how it turns out. It's a little on the dark side.
Flip the rag over and rub it with the dry side to try to lighten it up.
Alright, there we go. See, it's still pulling the wood grain through, which I like that. And I did want a darker one. So, I think I'll like it. We'll see. Okay, so far it is turning out pretty good. I like the color. I was going for that darker color. So I think it is turning out pretty good, especially for being my first time staining something. Right now I'm just going through making sure there's no blotchy areas where, you know, some parts might be darker than others. Just making sure it's all pretty much even, and then it should be finished. Okay, so we got our frame all stained up, and now we are ready to put our decal on it. We have a plotter. A lot of people out there have Cricuts. We have a plotter, just makes really big decals, so it's super awesome. This is what we are going to put on it. It's part of a Christian song, one of my favorite ones. So I'm going to get that printed up, and then we will throw that on our canvas. So let's do that. Cross our fingers. It is done printing out the whole decal. So we're just going to take this bad boy out, cut it off, and cross our fingers that she turned out right. Alright, so now I just need to take off this backing gently but firmly. And there are a lot of words on this decal, so I just need to go slow to make sure that when I rip off the back, it doesn't take any of my letters with it, because I will cry. So far, so good. This plotter is still kind of new to us. This is the biggest decal I personally have ever made. So I actually went through and I just took my razor blade, and I just made slits in between each row of words to help it make it easier for me when I'm ripping it off. So I'm not trying to focus on all these different letters at once. I can just go one row at a time, and that should make it go a little bit more smooth. So I just ran into an issue. As I was pulling back, I let go of one of my strips, and this is super sticky, and it actually stuck down here to the top of this vinyl and started ripping my letters off. Really pay attention when you're doing this, because this is a simple mistake. I wasn't even paying attention, and boom, I managed to save all my letters. Now, after I pull back the backing, I'm gonna have to go through and put these back in myself. Hopefully I can keep them nice and straight and in line. So make sure you're really paying attention if you're doing this at home, because this is an easy way to ruin your entire decal. So here we go, taking it a little bit slower this time. Okay, so this is the strip that I kind of ruined for going too fast. So it's right here in Stronger, I'm missing these letters and then the word in right here. So what I did is I took them off and I put them off to the side, and then you can kind of see in the white where like the stencil is. So I'm just going to pick them up and place them on there as perfectly as I possibly can. So as you can see, I saved it, thank God. I just put them all back in there, and now we're going to continue going down. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna weed out all of my letters, and then I am done with that, and then we will transfer it. All right, and there we have it. Now on to our next battle, transferring it. So once you get your transfer paper on here, you just take a little plastic thing. We have a pusher down, or I don't even know what it's called, a squeegee, and you're just gonna squeegee out all the bubbles and make sure it's on there really good. We are putting the decal on the canvas before we connect the canvas to our frame. I find it to be a little bit easier, makes a little bit more sense in my head, so we'll see. Okay, so I did decide that I want to paint my canvas. I was gonna leave it solid white, but there are like a couple like smudges on it. It might be from my fingers from the stain, and I forgot that I had this gray chalked. It's aged gray, and I love this color. I used it on my kitchen table. So we are going to paint the canvas this, and then we will put our decal on it when that dries. So let's go do that. Okay, so painted the canvas. It is partially dry, pretty much dry. Now we are just going to take the decal and smack it on there. Hopefully, because the paint is still a little bit sticky, it'll really stick to it nice and good. So here goes. Bada boom, bada bang.
It's gonna stick now. Okay.
Make sure you scrape it on there real good. We really want this decal to stick and last, otherwise you're gonna be doing this again in a month. And I do think that because the paint is still a little bit sticky, it'll really help adhere the decal to it. Hopefully. Let's see if she's on there nice and good. Nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. Okay, so I figured out that after I had painted the canvas, the back of it started to like ball up. I don't know why it did that, so I had to figure out what to do next because my decal wasn't sticking. So I just took some sandpaper and I sanded the canvas down really good. And then obviously I had to print off a new decal because my old one was no good. And then I laid it out and it was sticking, but not really, really good. So after a little bit of heat from my blow dryer and a whole lot of patience, I finally got the decal to stick to the canvas. This is the finished product. I think it turned out pretty good for my first time doing a reverse canvas. I definitely know what not to do next time and what to do next time. Because I will be making more of these, and hopefully as I go further into it, I get better at it. Overall, I am very happy with it. I think it looks super cute, and I think it looks good in the front room. So that being said, this is where it is. This is my entryway in our house. It's just the front room, and I have it above this little dresser that I distressed a while ago. So for the next video, this is going to be my project. I want to redecorate this. It's kind of bland. It's not the cutest, and now that I have this new canvas above it, I really just want to give it that farmhouse feel and make it look super cute. So that's what I will be focusing on the next video. I have a lot of ideas for it, and I think it's going to be super cute. So stay tuned for that.